Everybody, my name's Simon Smith, I'm Managing Director of CS Labels. For those who don't know me, my background is not printing. I'm a bank manager. So a lot of what you're going to see is very much from the slant of my background of being a bank manager. So I'm here today to talk to you about flexible packaging and what we've managed to develop in producing stand-up pouches. You're seeing there a picture of my new factory. I purchased it in June of last year. It's 20,000 square feet. We operate out of that unit 4 CX3s, 1 CX500, and we operate about 9 or 10 GM finishing lines. What is probably a little bit different about us is that we are totally digital. We got rid of our last conventional flexo press in 2012. So why has Zycon asked me to come to talk to you today? Was to say, why has CS Labels diversified into flexible packaging? And how has dry toner technology supported us in that journey? Well, in order to answer that question, you really need to understand a little bit more about the business ethos of CS Labels and what makes us different. We like to regard ourselves as a bit of a difference maker. We acquired our first digital press in 2007, and for us, digital means a lot more than just undertaking short-run labels. But we're operating in an industry which is very highly commoditized. The profit leaders within the printer industry are really focused on differentiating their position from their competitors. A lot of traditional printers will focus on the value proposition, quality, service, delivery, and competitive pricing. Whilst all of these are necessary, in themselves, the value proposition is not going to be enough for you to remain at the forefront of the digital technology. What we're seeing is that as the market evolves, we're starting to see falling margins, certainly on short-run label requirements. And for this, the falling margins have really been driven by the fact that we're seeing increased capacity in the marketplace. More digital presses are being sold all the time. And quite often these digital presses are coming to market at very much lower entry costs. And they're producing, so obviously, and the quality has improved utilising this lower cost technology. So for CS Labels, one of the things, the lessons I brought forward from the bank was to never really try to differentiate yourself on service. What is good customer service? And what is bad customer service? It's very much an individual thing. So, and the other thing is, how do you measure customer satisfaction? We've all been on the receiving end of having customer satisfaction questionnaires. Personally, I hate them with a passion. Because for me, customer satisfaction is slightly different. There is a very famous management book written by a gentleman by the name of Jeffrey Gitomer. And the title of his book was Starting, Customer Satisfaction is Worthless. That's quite a bold statement. How many people believe in that? Customer satisfaction is worthless. Customer loyalty is priceless. So what at CS Labels we're trying to evolve is it's not enough in itself just to be the most competitive in the marketplace or offer the best service. You need to offer a product which differentiates yourselves from a lot of your competitors. So that even if the customers are dissatisfied with your service, they remain loyal to your product. As an example of this, I could perhaps refer to my relationship with Zycon. They have, in the past, sent me a customer satisfaction survey. They may not have liked the answers I gave on that customer satisfaction survey. But am I loyal to the product? Yes. In the last 12 years, I've bought 10 Zycon digital presses. I believe in their technology. So whilst the relationship I have with Zycon may not always be based on perfect customer satisfaction, I remain loyal to the product because I really believe in the potential that the technology can offer into this marketplace. And it will enable me to differentiate myself from my competitors in many different ways. So, one of the challenges we have is to remain competitive when you've got more and more players in the marketplace. We do that by increasing our capacity. We have 5 digital presses. So that helps us achieve certain economies of scale that aren't available to a lot of our competitors. We're very keen on adopting complementary technology to implement new workflows. For example, last year we introduced a PDF workflow which we had developed ourselves. So basically that was a pre-flighting workflow which enabled us to automatically, without touching the artwork, proof out to our customers via the cloud their artwork, which they can automatically sign off and then gets pushed back to us and we push it down to the press without any member of staff having to touch their artwork. It will automatically put right any issues they have in their artwork, like missing fonts, highlighting poor quality resolution images. But this enables us to cope with large volumes of artwork coming through. The other thing that we've worked a lot on over the last 12 months is to add value to the product. Embellishments such as foil, embossing, color logic, spot varnish, tactile finishes enables us to differentiate the quality of our product. We're not there to sell purely on price. Price is important, but it should not be the sole driving factor of our sale. So quite often we will look to offer solutions that other digital printers can't provide. For example, we were one of the first digital houses to offer digital peel and reveals to the marketplace. Some of you will be aware that the peel and reveals that we've done enables us to win a number of awards over recent years, especially for microbrewery companies. And there's an example of one I'm showing you in the picture there. But also we use technology in many other different ways. For example, even simple things like point-of-sale price stickers. We have a workflow system which can take a job for point-of-sale stickers, which probably involved a quantity of up to 11 million stickers, and where we actually produce each sheet of stickers for the shop outlet completely unique to their requirements. Now we can only do that by using other technologies such as lasers to cut the labels. And that is an example of how we like to try and differentiate ourselves in the marketplace. I'm not going to go into the marketplace and offer you the cheapest label in the marketplace, or the service which is the quickest in the marketplace. There's too many people offering that solution already. In the past, we've also utilised augmented reality to differentiate our offer to our customers. And I always remember one of the defining moments in my career of CS Labels. Here's a picture of the first digital press we purchased from Zycon in 2007. My father-in-law came to visit it. And obviously, my father-in-law had previously owned a print company, and he'd been in the industry for 30 years. And having looked at the press, he turned to me and gave me the benefit of 30 years' experience in the flexo industry. And his comments were, "What the hell have I bought here? I will never make any money at it." So one of those things is, that thing has really driven me to help develop my company into one of the leading print houses within Europe digitally. So why have we gone into flexible packaging? Well, for me, the flexible packaging market is where the label market was in 2007, when my father-in-law spoke to me. I'm having conversation with other printers now saying it won't work, it's too expensive, it's too slow, it's too unreliable. It's not cost effective to do short run stand-up pouches. So for me, what am I doing here is I'm simply wanting to chuck a pebble into the pond. Just to say, there is a possibility you can do this. We just have to think about it differently. And for us, we see ourselves as being a bit of a business disruptor. For us, it raises the profile of the business and it enables us to differentiate ourselves from our competitors. So, dry toner technology. How does that benefit us in the flexible packaging market? Well, first off, there are a number of challenges that you have to overcome. One of the main problems is heat. In the digital technology, with toners, you're using a lot of heat. And that, on flexible packaging materials such as PE, creates you a number of challenges. For example, during the trials we experienced a number of issues, including creasing, poor toner adhesion, unstable material with shrinking, poor tension, making rolls difficult to convert. We've also got the restrictions of the press itself. Even printing on the CX500, you're forming a pouch out of a 500mm wide press as opposed to, say, a HP 20000, which is printing 760mm wide. So you've got the size restrictions. So the maximum height we can print on a pouch at the moment is 242mm with it, which would include a 40mm gusset and convert 220mm wide. So there's already a part of the market that we cannot cope with on the digital press in flexible packaging because the web of the press is simply too small. One of the other challenges, and the Zycon boys probably won't thank me for this, but the cost of the toners can be quite prohibitive. They are much more expensive than conventional inks. And with packaging, flexible pouches, you have a lot of toner required to cover the surface of the pouch. The toner performance, quite often you will see cracking on the edges of the pouches. Also, the pouches are susceptible to resealing at heats above 80 degrees. So that will cause the toner to refuse and reform when pressure is applied in the zip area. Scripting is another challenge for us. Coping with pre-constructed multi-layered materials such as 1270 PE or 1270 Met PET means that if we're printing it on a press, we can only run it at a very low speed. So those are just some of the challenges that we have with the technology itself. But not only have you got a challenge with the technology, you've got a number of market obstacles to overcome. As Philip alluded to, there are long lead times in the flexible packaging market. When we're ordering material for the flexible packaging market and a pre-constructed, pre-laminated material, invariably we're having to wait 6 to 8 weeks for that material to come in. There's also minimum order value quantities, and invariably that can be anything from 1 to 3 tons. Now for us in the conventional digital market, we work in linear meters. So how much is 1 ton or 3 tons of pre-laminated 1270 PE? The market conceptions of digital. Very much the people in the market feel it's slow, it's expensive, and it's also unreliable. The existing production facilities, a lot of flexo houses and wide format flexo houses, are not aimed at the short run market. You've got high origination costs in films and plates. You've got a high minimum order quantity. You've got long lead times to market. So in fairness, there is very limited take-up of digital technology in the marketplace for either HP or Inkjet or Zycon. And for us, one of the biggest challenges we've had, it's all foreign to us. There's a huge technical requirement that we don't, and knowledge and expertise that we don't have. But the one thing that we do understand is digital. And that's what we bring to the marketplace, our experience and our knowledge of the market, of the digital technology. There's also a number of migration challenges you have, particularly on food items. And obviously our own lack of experience in that area. So, what have we achieved? Well, we've developed, with the support of Zycon, a short-run flexible packaging solution for the production of stand-up digital pouches. And you may have seen in recent magazines that have gone out, certainly to advertise the cafe event, we produced, I think it was for the European market, around about 20,000 digitally produced pouches. The market that we're bringing the solution is to one where we're ideally looking at the short-run market, where there is a requirement for multiple SKUs, where we're going to concentrate on the requirement where the speed to market is essential. Personalisation will be a big key advantage for us. And we believe that the offer we're bringing to the marketplace is going to be competitive, up to and including around 60,000 pouches. With the offer that we're coming out to the marketplace, we're looking at short lead times, primarily probably in the region of 4 to 6 weeks. We're aiming it at the SME market, those customers that are obviously selling their product over the internet. Now at the moment, a lot of those SME owners are having to buy their pouches in from China, which the lead times on that are about 8 to 10 weeks, where the quality of what you're importing can vary enormously. So what does this solution involve? Well, we've been doing flexible packaging and pouches probably for 2 years, but we've been direct printing them. So in other words, printing directly onto a 1270 PET construction. Working with Zycon, we've come up with a solution of indirectly printing. And what we're doing is using a heat lamination process, and this achieves a good bond strength between the toners, CMYK, then the white and the material. We've also had to design and have created our own in-house pouch conversion line. In the early days, we used to send our pouches out to converting to other flexible packaging houses. Invariably, we'd send them a job, probably up to 1,000 linear meters, and they'd phone us back to say, "You've sent us the setup, where's the job?" And we're having to explain, no, that is the job we sent you, and it includes the setup. Invariably, we ended up with problems where we'd send off 1,000 linear meters over 5 designs, and we had situations where we were short on 1 or 2 designs, simply because they'd lost them in the production process. So at the end, we came to the conclusion the only way we were going to control it was to bring the whole process in-house. So we're going to show you later in the presentation our own in-house pouch converting line that we've set up. It's 6 meters long, and it's designed with to minimize the waste and setup. As I said at the start of the presentation, we have one CX500. We were a beta site for it, and obviously we've operated 4 other CX3 presses. For us, the CX500 was that eureka moment. We knew that we could use that technology to further develop our flexible packaging plans. The beta we undertook was as a label press. But really, we were interested in it to give us the options to increase the opportunities for printing flexible packaging on that technology. In the short term, we're going to concentrate on just a few constructions. Probably about a half a dozen different types of construction in terms of material constructions. And we're going to come to market with a 4 to 6 week lead time offering. So, how does it work? At the end of this presentation, there's going to be a video showing you the production process that we utilise. When we're printing indirect, we're going to print onto a 23 micron PET, and that's going to be running at 30 metres a minute on the CX500. We're going to apply a water-based adhesive to the PET, and utilising a GM U-coat press, we're going to coat the material with the primer adhesive. We then put it through a heat lamination process, so where we laminate a PE or a MET or an aluminium to the PET. We then, having done that, we will slit the roll to provide stability and ensure that the roll is stable. We will then put it through our pouch converting line, and from that we can produce three-sided seal, pouches, sachets, either with a Doyle or a K-seal, closures with tear notches, rounded corners, or Euro slots. So how have we achieved this? Well, really we've obviously sought the support of Zycon to help us field test different constructions of laminates on indirect print. We've done numerous tests on printing on a 23 micron DK PET film with this water-based thermal Michelman adhesive. We've undertaken a series of tests on different materials and different toner levels to achieve the best construction and avoid the risk of delaminating. We're also in the process of undertaking migration testing to ensure that the barriers that we're putting into the pouch are suitable for the types of product that is going into the pouch. So here are some examples we've done of some of the production jobs. In this particular instance, this is a customer, Nut Mad. We produced 16,000 pouches, over 10 sorts, over 2 different sizes. This one is a pouch for cannabis, medical cannabis, I hasten to add. One sort, we produced 10,000 pouches. This is one where we actually won the Flexotech Award for Innovation 2018, Hot Tub Nights. And this is bath salts, but you put them in your hot tub. Customer wanted 22 different sorts, and we manufactured 11,500 of each sort. And he sells these over the internet via Amazon. All of those jobs, the customers would have struggled to source the construction of those jobs within the UK. They would have had to probably go to China. So what are the advantages of the dry toner technology? Well, Philip has already alluded to some of them. The print quality, you're printing at 1200 dpi. You're using light, fast toners. The fact that the toners have a slightly larger molecule size than, say, HP or inkjet reduces the risk of migration. We're able to get good bond strengths on lamination, and we've tested it, and some of the results have been better than achieved with the HP technology. With the CX500, we can now reverse print the PET at 30 meters a minute. Whereas when we were printing it on the 3500, we could only manage a top speed of 9 meters a minute. Obviously, the big advantage is there's no origination costs, which is especially important if you're dealing with a large number of SKUs. For us, it's about the speed to market. We're looking to service the SME market that was previously purchasing their pouches from China. We've got the advantage of it's environmentally friendly, there is minimal waste on setup, and we've got all the advantages of digital print. It's suitable for food applications, and it's more suitable than perhaps some of the other technologies like inkjet or HP. The solution that we've developed and the cost of the production is significantly cheaper than some of the other technologies on the marketplace. And that's before you start looking at the advantages offered by personalization and variable data. However, we're not standing in front of you today to tell you we have got the final solution. There are still a number of obstacles that we have got to overcome. We'll only be able to print on a limited substrate range. We are still working on putting aluminium barriers into the pouches. We're also limited to printing on a 23 micron PET. And the problem we have is that when we utilize 12 micron PET, it creases too readily. We've got the size restrictions we already indicated. We are having to convert our pouch out of a 500mm width material, but we're going up against HP printing 760 wide. We've got to find a way of managing the cost of toner. It's a big element of the cost in terms of production. Obviously, one of the advantages of the dry toner is de-inkability. But at the moment, the most important thing is the recyclability of the plastics. So we need to come up with a solution. We've got the problem of ordering materials. We have to order in big volumes at the moment. We can't order in small volumes. So that in itself is limiting the range of materials that we can offer. There are certain pouches at the moment that we can't do. We can't do retort pouches. We can't put spouts in. You can't do coffee, because for coffee you need to have the pouches vented. But there's a hell of a lot we can do, and we have already put in place a route map of what we think we need to do over the next 12-18 months to overcome some of those challenges. So we're looking at an improved range of materials with better barrier constructions, EVOH, aluminium with migration accreditation. And actually, we do have a solution for printing 12 micron PET. We just need a modification made on the press. We're also keeping an eye on what the other technologies are doing, looking at inkjet, especially for the non-food market. Why? You can print, strangely enough, there are things you can do on inkjet to print wider than 330. You just need to tackle it a different way. We also have got a solution where we can print pouches up to 400mm high, whereas previously the height restriction was 242. And that's utilising the CX500 technology. We're also all the time reducing the cost of production as we get more efficient at this, and we can source the materials differently. So here's a video we've done of the pouches that we made for the cafe event. And you can see it here being printed on a CX500 at 30 meters a minute. Unfortunately, the video is a little bit fast because we've had to film it on a camera. But we're reversing printing it onto a 23 micron PET. We're then coating it, and you can see there is a coating, thermal water-based adhesive we're applying to the coating. And here it's going through an air dryer. So this is a GM U-coat machine that we've had built for us. So we're taking the roll, coating the adhesive, putting it through the air dryer, and then rolling it up at the end. So this is the second stage of the process. This is a heat lamination process machine we've devised. So you're taking the roll of material, and under heat, it is applying the PE. This is a picture of the conversion line that we've built. It's taking the roll of finished material, putting it through the plough, which folds it. We're then inserting a gusset, we're inserting a zip, we're putting a crease in it and laminating, and you can see at the end it's coming off, so it's with the zip on, and then you see there, oh sorry, we've gone a bit too ahead. I'll show you this video again, it's gone on a little too quickly. And then, no, I've lost it, I messed it up, sorry. Right, here you go, go. Yeah, if you get, I'll show you when to stop. Yeah, we'll go back again. Just let it run, let it run. Don't touch it. Okay, so it's here we're printing it, 30 metres a minute, and that's just printing at CMYK. We're not putting a white on it, and we're reversing printing it onto the PET. The coating it with a micron adhesive. It's water-based, so it has to be air-dried, rather than utilising UV. Here's the heat laminating, so you're taking the coated roll and over heated rollers you're heating up the adhesive and then applying the PE to it. This is the pouch line, the printed roll, going through the plough, folding it into a pouch. You will then insert the gusset. And then it will heat seal the zip and heat seal the side of the pouches. You can see the overall length of this machine is only 6 metres long. So we can set up and start getting pouches coming off the line within 30 to 50 metres of material. No longer having to lose up to 1,000 linear metres in setup. The final product, there's the pouch, front and the back. Some other examples of our work. All different types of constructions with windows in there, materials for jerky meat. You can see there's a complete range of some of the labels we've printed. Okay, so one of the things that we were talking about was speed to market. Here's an example of something we've done. We printed these pouches for Zycon. We received the order on the 19th of March. We printed and laminated them on the Wednesday the 20th of March and then converted them on the 21st of March. So within 48 hours, we've printed, laminated and converted. And there you have the finished final product, the three-sided seal pouch.